Hey, it's everyone's favorite anhedoniac, John. I can't feel pleasure. Just kidding. Tonight I wanted to talk about what I call the 5 second rule. So, if there's a thing that you can do to someone's bike in about 5 seconds that will drastically improve the feel, it's not necessarily like a billable moment. Here's my stance on this. I feel like every bike that leaves your stand, even if you're giving it back to someone after inspecting it or doing a very minor thing like changing brake pads or whatever, adjusting a headset, installing a chain. If you notice a thing that will increase the enjoyment factor of the person riding the bike, it is 100% worth just doing it quietly. I mean, you can tell them that you did it if you want, um, but here's my position. Bikes are deeply emotional, and a lot of times, non-experts in the bike world, they know how a bike is supposed to feel, and they know when their bike doesn't feel quite correct. And so, if they bring it in for some air in the tires, and you take 5 seconds to lube the chain, and perhaps the headset's just the tiniest bit loose, and you just adjust it, and it takes 5 seconds. When you hand it back, what they're going to feel is that their bike is quieter, safer, more responsive. They're going to know something's different, and that every time they bring their bike to your shop, that no matter what they bring it in for, that when they ride away, it's going to feel just that much better. And you're going to build an emotional connection to, a positive emotional connection to your shop. It's difficult because in 2018, we need all the money we can get. And so if there's a major problem, let's say it's going to take 6 seconds or more, that's billable labor. If it needs a legitimate headset like adjustment, or if you need to true the wheels and it's going to take more than just a quarter turn of a spoke nipple, yeah, I mean, book it in, or do it on the spot, but charge them the correct amount. I just see so often, people have blinders on. Even good mechanics, they'll get a ticket, and the job will be for replace cassette, replace chain rings, right? And the rear brake is rubbing at the same time. Now, you could, I suppose, do one of three things. Number one, you could ignore it, which I see so often it's not even funny. Like, don't ignore it. Number two, you can call the customer and be like, yeah, I need to use my hand to move your brake 2 degrees. Can I do that? I'm going to charge you $15 for it. Or you can just grab the brake and twist it and then call it a day. I tend to look at bikes as a complete system. So if a bike is in my stand, and when you get good, it doesn't take a long time. You just sort of do your wiggle, jiggle, drop, turn, twist, spin test from front to back. I think it takes maybe 10 seconds to just notice any large deviations from correct. And if they're small things, bro, just do them. Just do them. Do them with a smile on your face. Just know that, one, you're doing a better job. You actively committed to doing this, and you're going to do it correct every time it's in your stand. And number two, just know that what you're doing is you're building an emotional bond to your shop through the fact that their bike is going to feel sort of... it's going to feel better in a way that they can't describe, but every time they get back on it, they're going to notice right away that it's less rattly, steers better, what have you. So that's my 5 second rule, And I think that it applies to a lot of things in life. Shit, it could apply to your own life, There are tons and tons of things in your day-to-day life which take 5 seconds, which we ignore. There's a dirty cup on the counter. Well, fucking clean it, dude. Clean it and put it away. You know what I mean? Like, it takes 5 seconds to improve the world. 5 seconds is all it takes. And you can do that 1,000 times a day. So, just my thoughts on, what I feel like should just be like a basic thing for all humans is that your calorie burning engine put here on this planet for just a few years, build a monument of usefulness that maybe no one will remember, but just add to the pile. Just pile excellence on top of excellence. Doing teeny tiny little things is cumulative, and eventually if we all do enough of these 5-second jobs, the world will be a better place. Good night.